So you went through a lot of the detail of this, of what you see coming here in the last segment.
Yeah.
But take out the detail for a second. To boil your theory down here, oil is going to spike to levels that are incredibly damaging to our economy.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, we are going to continue to buy Russian oil, maybe try to buy Iranian oil.
We're negotiating with them right frickin' now, the Iranians.
That's
and by the
insane.
way, it's not damaging our economy. It is the likely depression that we will go into and possibly the end of the West because of the economic catastrophe that is coming our way.
But other than that.
Yeah. So listen, I know everybody I feel the same way. You know me. This audience, at least, knows me. I see the suffering in Ukraine and the Ukrainian eyes. I see the decency of those people. I see the willingness to be free. Nobody is standing up for freedom anymore. We're the last hope of the world, okay? I don't want those people to suffer, and I don't want Putin to win. You cannot teach him that lesson. But let's have the real conversation here, the one that no one is having. We have already set a price on helping the Ukrainian people, have we not? For instance.
Yes. We're not willing to spend American lives.
Correct. Are you willing to go in? Now, ask yourself this question. Are you willing to go in with troops, full force, for the Ukrainian people?
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, we've said no to that.
No, I'm not
we've
either.
even said no to a no-fly zone.
Yeah. I don't know that any Americans want to do that.
Okay.
I haven't heard anybody advocating for that.
All right, good. So we've already then established what we are. We're just haggling on price. Okay?
Yeah.
Right? That's the truth. That's the
It
truth.
is the truth.
We are haggling on price. And we say American blood and, quite honestly, treasure and security, because of all of the risks on that, we've already said no.
We've just done it too much, and we're done with doing it.
Correct.
And we don't want to get into a war with Russia. That's not just American lives.
You're talking Armageddon.
Armageddon. That's end of the world type stuff.
Good. So again, if you believe in any of that, or for your own reason, whatever your reason is, if you say, no, I'm not willing to send troops over there, you've said there's a price to that freedom.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that makes you not compassionate. If you believe that, that makes you already, in the eyes of some, me too, not compassionate. How can you say that when the suffering is going on? So that takes that argument off the table. Take that emotional argument off the table. You mean you're not willing to do everything to save these people? No, clearly as a country, we're not, because we won't send our own troops in to help them. Okay? So enough of the bullcrap of the emotional side. Now let me ask you, we've already had one price established. You are not willing to send in troops, U.S. troops, into Ukraine. That's price number one. Here's the other option that we are now going down without having the conversation. Are you willing to, within a year, face a depression, and possibly the complete destruction of the Western economy? Food crisis like we haven't seen since the Dust Bowl. Are you willing to pay that price? Possibly you lose your job, you lose your money, and your family is struggling for food and energy prices that make it so you cannot really afford any gas because it's $8 a gallon. And I'm not talking about California. I'm talking about everywhere. Are you willing to pay that price for the people of Ukraine? I know this sounds horrible, but it has to be said. Are you willing to go through that?
No.
Well,
but what brings that on?
Well, hang on. Just answer the question here.
Yeah,
first.
no.
We are obviously have to prioritize our own people, right?
Correct.
And so we do not have we're not part of NATO. They're not part of NATO. We don't have an agreement to defend them.
Mm-hmm.
We can help them defend themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think our role is here, if there is one.
If you're a conservative, the answer is very easy for you because you believe in the lifeboat theory. It was horrible, but you had to, if you were the Titanic and you were in a lifeboat. Now, this isn't the same necessarily if there were 3 people in the lifeboat, right. But if you were in a lifeboat and it was filled, you can't go back and get more people. No matter, you're listening to their screams and it's horrible, but everyone will drown. That's why we believe in border security. We can't help the rest of the world if we drown because everybody's coming here.
Right.
Okay? So it sounds like it's not compassionate, but it is rational compassion, okay? You can't kill yourself trying to help somebody else.
And it's not as if we're not doing anything here. We're doing a lot.
Okay. Here's what brings this on, Pat. The world revolves, we learned this in 2008. The world revolves around $100 a barrel oil. It can handle spikes. It can handle 120 as long as there's an end to that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But
as long as it comes back down to 60 or 40.
So the collapse in 2008, the last straw to break the camel's back. And let me ask you this question: do you think we're stronger today than we were in 2008?
No.
No.
Okay. So what the straw that broke the camel's back on our economy in 2008 that they say, and I believe, would have tanked the Western banks and economic system entirely. That price was $140 a barrel, sustained for how long? A few weeks? Couple weeks?
Yeah, not very long.
Weeks, yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. We, by cutting off oil right now, and remember, we're all saying, we got to really hit them. We're already at $120 a barrel, okay? Already at $120 a barrel. And we are currently negotiating with Iran to supply the world with the 10% of oil the world needs. Let me ask you this question. Who is more dangerous to the American homeland, the American people, the American way of life? Vladimir Putin or Iran?
I think you believe it's Iran.
Let me rephrase it. A fully financed Iran.
Over a long period of time, I think you may turn the tables to Iran. But with 13,000 nuclear weapons, I still think Vladimir Putin's a bigger risk.
I agree. I agree.
Okay.
A bigger risk. But he has not been hell-bent on wiping out the American way of life. We have had him in a cage. Lately.
Right, and this is the question. Has this turned?
Correct.
Has he turned over a new leaf?
And that's what everybody is saying. This is not the Putin of 5 years ago.
Okay.
You keep hearing that.
So let's say we cut off all their oil. We collapse. And maybe Russia collapses. But we don't take Putin out. It's just a disaster. Nobody has any money. We've collapsed the banking system. You still have Putin in Russia, and you have a richer Ayatollah in Iran, and you have the Western world begging them for oil. This is not a good scenario. We haven't made anything better by that, okay? We just have to have the discussion here because everybody is pushing for crazy things. They're pushing for, let's do a no-fly zone. Are you out of your mind? That could end in nuclear war. To save the Ukrainian people, are you willing to be in a war where one nuclear missile is launched against the United States?
Oh, God, no.
Of course not.
Nuclear missiles? No.
Yes, no.
No.
So were you willing to fight for them and do a no-fly zone if one missile is launched to Poland?
No,
it doesn't matter, right?
No.
One missile launched to Russia in Moscow. No, the answer is no. We don't want nuclear war. Let's start looking at the actual consequences and stop looking at it like fat Americans who are like, we control the world. We got all the power. We don't anymore. That has changed. It can change. I will listen now that I'm looking at what's happening and I've figured out that missing piece. Remember, I'm like, wait a minute, something's wrong. What's wrong is it's a trap. You are dealing with Marxist revolutionaries that are running this country right now. They want to collapse it for their own Marxist reasons, but you also have the Great Reset that wants a collapse so they can reset and have it collapse right into their arms. Okay? You have forces inside the house wanting this collapse. So are we going to go along with it? The only thing we should be saying is open up the oil fields and the gas lines here in America. You cannot do these kinds of sanctions and shiv yourself at the same time. We are empowering China. Who's the winner in this? China. You look at who we're empowering in the Middle East. Iran. And why? Because of some effing idea that we're going to get off all petroleum to help heal the planet. There will be nothing left of the American and the Western society unless you open up not the strategic reserves. That's the craziest thing I've heard. You're on the brink of World War III, and you want to take our military strategic oil reserves and just pass it out so we can go to the movies.
So we can have an extra 2 days.
Oh, my gosh.
That's crazy.
It's like 2 days.
I mean, it's not even a good idea when normal times are going on, but when you're in a situation where war is already breaking out and we have allies one border away from where missiles are flying, that's an insane idea.
So I want the Ukrainian people to know, I am with you. I would collapse Russia and Iran so fast with oil if we weren't killing ourselves. But I'm sorry, Ukraine, until the people in this country stand up and absolutely at the gates of the White House demand that we open up our own reserves, we cannot help you. We cannot help you.
What does that mean, you can't help?
What do
you mean, we're going to do nothing? I mean, we're already doing stuff.
We are on the road to destruction.
But the issue with helping Ukraine is not... Look, you're right. Compassion is compassion, and I love compassion. The issue
we can't shut down all of Russia's oil. I know, it drives me crazy. But listen, I was for shutting down Russia's oil. I've been for it. But now when I see the missing piece, something's wrong. Here's what's wrong. It's a trap. That's what's wrong. We cannot do that. We can supply them with arms. We can supply them with food. We can send over doctors. We can, whatever they need, we can do that. But we cannot collapse ourselves and put ourselves in their position, ready for God knows who, Iran or China, just to take it all. No. This government is not on the right side. And when I say that, I don't mean the Ukrainian people. What I mean is that they are on the wrong side of the American people. Until they secure us first. No.